Okay everybody, here's a quick way to make fun little pom-poms. We're going to add it to this scarf which I just made with some of my thick and thin cathedral inspired yarn. We've already got some like braided tassel action. First thing I would do is because I'm going to make two pom-poms, get two little pieces. I don't know, those are maybe a little over 12 inches long. They could be shorter than that, honestly, but I already had them. And set those aside. You're going to use those to tie the middle of the two pom-poms. And then I've got two other, and we're just using literally like scrap yarn. So this is like two other little piles I've got, so they're not measured out at all. I can't tell you how big they are. And the first thing you do, take your hand and hold it this way. You're gonna kind of, I mean not super tight, but you know, generally you're wrapping the yarn around your hand and make kind of like a little, you know, circle. And then you're going to take one of your pieces of scrap yarn once you've made the circle, and you're going to kind of lay the circle down on top of the scrap yarn like so. And then you tie, like a little Christmas present, the scrap yarn, and you want to tie it tightly. Tie it, cinch it in the waist. So basically you're giving this little circle of yarn a cinched in waist. So tie it really tight. I double knot it. So now you've got something that looks like this. So you've got, you know, the scrap yarn tail here, the scrap yarn tail here. Got loops on this end and loops on that end. And I might even tie it a third time just because I really want my little pom-pom to last. So tie it really good and leave your long tails. The next thing you do, you're going to take scissors, and these might not be the best scissors, but it's what I have on hand right now. So let's see, we got, you know, stick your finger back through the hole to make a hole, and then you're going to cut the top of the loops. And do the same thing over here. So I'm going to make sure my two scrap yarn strings are out of the way, and then kind of stick your finger through the loops to make a hole. And then stick the scissors back through the hole my finger just made, and I'm going to snip the top and pull off little extra funny pieces. And so now I have a cinched piece in the middle, and then pom-poms on this side. So then you just, you know, as you see here, oh, and then you might have missed a hoop. If you missed a hoop, just snip the hoop. Now you have this crazy little pom-pom. And the scrap yarn pieces I like to leave long, because now if you want to fasten them to something, especially if that something happens to have loose drop knit stitches like this does, you can very easily with your finger just thread the scrap yarn pieces through the scarf, and then of course tie like a whole bunch of knots in the back to secure it there. I'd say at least 2 or 3. And then you're just going to weave in the tails here, you know, weave that into the side, and now you have this great fun pom-pom on the end of the scarf. So I'm just going to repeat that same process for my second pom-pom, and then I will be good to go.